I want to show how politically charged this is and how emotional people are over this, and try to kind of show the assumptions in people's thinking on this. I'm going to try, okay? And so, no offense to anybody, other than if you're a heretic and God hates you and you're going to hell, then I hate you. No, I'm kidding. So I'm just interacting with people. So this is my point here on the screen. I posted this on my community page, and I'm gonna say stuff, and then I'm gonna say what I'm not saying and what I am saying, and then kind of in a question form. The church is fudge budge, which is supposed to be a rhetorical device so that you remember this point I'm trying to make, or to further discussion. And by fudge budge, I mean for us Jews, by us Jews. First thing that's going to come to mind in different people's view is if you're a replacement theologist in some sort of weird, non-biblical, racist, sort of anti-Semitic thing, right? What am I saying? Am I saying I'm the real Jews and the Jews in Israel are not the real Jews? No, not saying that. But listen to my words carefully. The gospel, the message, originally, I want to stand strong and say, Jesus, my God is a Jew. Because he came incarnate, and when he became incarnate, he was I'm using that word loosely. He was a Hebrew. He was a child of Abraham, 100% in God's covenant people. So I'm using Jew as just to say related to Abraham, part of the lineage of people who are God's people, okay? Who are or were, doesn't matter, just God's people. I'm thinking historically. I'm thinking whatever you think about Israel today, put that aside for a second. I'm saying certainly there are people who were related to Abraham and who were in the Sinai covenant when Jesus came, and they had an ethnic quality that lived in a location that Jesus preached to and were under a covenant that God made with human beings. Those are the Jews I'm talking about, okay? Right now. So the message that is for the world that saves people in Jesus is the church, okay? Meaning the new covenant people. The new covenant people who established the church, that message that Jesus brought, that was made for literal Jews. Jesus only came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel while he was preaching during his ministry. Made for literal Jews, and that message was established and proliferated by literal Jews. So the church, new covenant message, that's the salvation to the world and the message of Jesus, is 100% fudge budge, whether you like it or not. And that message that was fudge budge, 100% fudge budge, established by a Jew, 100% Jew, for 100% Jews only. And then that message, after it was established through the death of Jesus and the ratification of the new covenant, which was God's plan to save all the nations and to call all the nations back to God towards his message, established fudge budge style. Okay. So the church, 100% Jewish, established by Jews, for Jews, whether you like it or not. And the entire early church was all 100% Jews. And it was for 100% Jews. And then that message calls in the nations. And that message to call in the nations. And then the Gentiles are what? Grafted in. To what? The stock. What's the stock? Israel, the message, the covenant of God that he established with Jews. And then it was ratified for Jews. And then that message goes to the nations to bring them in. And once all the Gentiles are grafted into God's people, which is Israel, I don't care what you think it means to be Israel. The covenant is made by and for Israel, Jews. It was established by Jews. It was taken to the world by Jews. And Jesus is a Jew. And he'll always be a Jew because that's just a historical fact. And the capital of the universe and creation will be in Jerusalem, the capital of Jewtown, whether you like it or not. It's not going to be in Constantinople. It's not going to be in some church somewhere that has a particular denominational name on it. It's going to be a temple in Israel where God, who is a Jew, become a man, is going to be the king of the universe as a Jew, God, in Jew land. Okay? So, like it or lump it. And the Gentiles are grafted in, not because they have to become Jewish ethnically or do things that Jews had to do in the Old Covenant necessarily, per se, but they are grafted into the covenant, which is FUJBUJ. So, what that looks like, you can decide from a careful Bible reading. But it wasn't something the Gentiles took and now it's a Gentile church. Nope, it's a Jew church for Jews that call back the nations. Jesus will always be a Jew, whether you like it or not. And the church was established by Jews and for Jews to call back the nations. And that's what's been going on. And now other people who have a different ethnic background are joined to that. And it looks differently in different places at different times. But those are just facts. So there isn't two gospels, one for the Jew and one for the Gentile. There's one gospel established by Jews for Jews, and they've been calling back the nations. And many other people of ethnic backgrounds have joined that movement through history. And when it's all said and done, the Jewish God will rule from Jerusalem forever. So God bless. Budge, budge.